David Lish, back to you.
All right, Rich, thank you very much.
Joining us now from Capitol Hill with their reaction to AIG, Citigroup, and more, Democratic Congressman Joe Sestak from Pennsylvania and Republican Representative Michelle Bachmann from Minnesota. Welcome to you both.
Glad to be here.
Liz, thank you. Anytime. Representative Sestak, is this thing going to pass? We're already hearing that there are representatives like Congressman Himes who say this is all going too quickly and we're not ready to just say that we should tax these bonuses at 90%. I think we see now a hesitancy to move too quickly on certain things. What do you think will happen?
I think you'll see that this will just pass. That's my prediction. I think one of the major concerns here, and I've reviewed some readouts from a Harvard Law School constitutional lawyer, that this does appear to be within our constitutional ability to execute. But I think when you see that AIG back in 2007 actually said that in its future bonuses it intended not to do mark for market, taking away unrealized losses, and that no losses would be counted beyond $67.5 million, you saw there was an intention by this company to take advantage of an upcoming crisis. This is the right thing to do. Reluctantly, we have to do it, but it's the right thing to do. And quite frankly, we should have all, Republican, Democrat, presidents, past and present, and Congress, past and present, should have had better accountability on this well before now.
All right. Well, Congresswoman Bachmann, this thing is a mess. I mean, frankly, this thing is just a total mess. First, we had Barney Frank saying he didn't know the language was put in about the bonuses. Then he claims that it turns out that he did, although he said his hand was forced by the administration. The administration is pulling back. So it just shows what messes we get into when the government gets so heavily involved in business. Isn't this the time to start formulating an exit strategy, a clear exit strategy from what we've gotten into?
You're exactly right. This is an economic quagmire that we're in, and we need to have an exit strategy. I don't want to be complicit in this corruption cover-up. That's what the bill will do today. It is covering up the corruption that occurred with this stimulus bill. Obama's stimulus bill, unfortunately, became the AIG bonus protection plan, and it's Democrats that are accusing the Obama administration from demanding that this language be inserted to protect these AIG bonuses. So it's disingenuous to have the administration say, we didn't know anything about this, when it appears that they knew about it, the Federal Reserve knew about it. The Democrats' hands are all over this bill. They wrote the bill, they passed the bill, and now they want to pretend that this wasn't their bill. It's their bill.
Let me let Representative Sestak respond to those comments that you've just made.
Well, let me make 2 quick points. My good friend Michelle, I wish she had been there with me on January 21st when we passed on the House, and she did not vote with me for it, for the TARP Reform and Accountability Act, which actually would have reached back retroactively to October when the TARP bill began in order to prevent bonuses to the top employees of companies like AIG. Number 2, I think there's blame on both sides. I accept that. But I will say this. If we had not had this stimulus bill, much like the S&L crisis during President Reagan's era, if he had not intervened with 3% of GDP to salvage the S&L crisis, if our government had not intervened with this economic stimulus, not ideology, but modeling, basic objective modeling shows 3 million more Americans will be unemployed by the end of June. There's not corruption here. There's incompetence. And we have to fix that with a sense of accountability.
Well, Congresswoman, you know, I can accept there's no way of proving what would have happened had the TARP not been put in. But again, I'm going to force you to focus on formulating some kind of exit strategy. Everybody agrees that the process we're in now is awful because of the mess that we've just seen, because of messes that we know are coming. So how do we get out of it?
Well, I think it's important, first of all, that we take a pledge and all go into a 12-step program. No more bailouts. We can't do them. We need to have a pledge. And also, the big story is that yesterday, Ben Bernanke at the Federal Reserve issued another $1 trillion that they made available. That's another $1 trillion that the taxpayer is on the hook for. This is beyond any historic measure of the federal government intervening in the private marketplace. If there's anything that this proves, and I think both my colleague and I can agree on this, government should have no business trying to run a private organization. We can't do it. We're incapable of doing it, and it's not our constitutional duty. We need to stop the pain and do no more harm.
I want to ask Representative Sestak his exit strategy, as David put it, because we need a way out. And do you agree with Rep. Bachmann that it is in no way a way forward by sort of rubber stamping more big spending?
What I honestly believe is that the U.S. government is the only AAA-rated global safe haven where people have placed their money into a mattress. It's us. If we have not intervened thus far, the lights would be out in America. And, David, I have to disagree. I have looked at the modeling, and 3 million Americans, according to Moody's.com models, would have been unemployed if we had not intervened. And actually, I support
That's not
the
true.
$1 trillion.
That's not true.
If I could finish, Michelle, please. $1.2 trillion. I am totally in support of this. And the reason is that these banks have to be able to have the ability for us to soak up the toxic securities, get the cholesterol out of the mother, so the mother milk of our economy, credit can begin going again. If we don't do this, this nation won't be able to
Congresswoman, you get the last word since Congressman got the first. Quickly.
Thanks so much. Even the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, said as much that passing the stimulus will actually cause the economy to contract. We will lose more jobs than we will have gained when all of this is said and done. This is a very bad decision and will induce rampant inflation in our economy. It's the cruelest tax of all. I couldn't disagree more with my colleague.
You two are terrific guests. We love to have you on. You really spell things out very clearly. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us both.
Thank you.
The government announced